Samantha was the kind of girl whose voice could stop time. In her small town outside Chicago, people would gather at the local church just to hear her sing during Sunday services. Her voice wasn't just beautiful. It was angelic, pure, and emotional, the kind of sound that could cut straight through the toughest hearts. Her best friend, Emma, was just as talented but in a different way. Emma had an eye for design, fashion, style, and presentation. Together, they were inseparable. Samantha sang, and Emma sketched dresses and stage costumes, promising one day she would design outfits for Samantha's concerts when she became famous. They laughed about it, but deep inside, both believed it might really happen. Then came the night that changed everything. It was a rainy evening in late October. Samantha was walking home after rehearsal when a car ran a red light. The impact wasn't fatal, but when she woke up in the hospital, she had a deep scar stretching across the side of her face. For days, she refused to look in the mirror. When she finally did, the confident, radiant girl she used to be seemed gone. She stopped singing in public. She stayed home, pulling her hoodie over her face whenever she had to go outside. But Emma wouldn't let her give up. "Sam, your voice is still the same," Emma said one night while holding her friend's hand. "Scars don't change talent. If the world can't see your face, let them hear your voice." And so, they came up with a plan. Emma would represent Samantha. The recordings would be done behind closed doors. The voice would belong to Samantha, but Emma would be the one people saw. At first, it was magical. Samantha poured her soul into the songs, recording late into the night while Emma handled the contracts, meetings, and press appearances. The songs caught fire, streaming platforms, radio stations, even viral TikTok videos. Within months, the mysterious new artist Emma was topping charts. Agencies began calling. Money flowed in. Fame followed. But with fame came temptation. Emma was showered with praise for a voice that wasn't hers. She stood on red carpets, signed autographs, and gave interviews, all while Samantha stayed in the shadows. At first, Emma would come home and split the earnings fairly. But soon, her behavior changed. She gave Samantha only a small percentage of the money. "You should be grateful," Emma said one night, tossing a wad of bills on the table. "Without me, you'd still be hiding in your bedroom. 10% is more than enough." Tears filled Samantha's eyes. "I sang those songs, Emma. They're mine." Emma crossed her arms, her voice sharp. "No, Sam. You don't exist. Out there, it's me they all love. Remember that." The betrayal stung worse than the scar ever had. But Samantha stayed silent, watching her best friend grow drunk on power. Months later, the breaking point arrived. A major company offered Emma a $10 million contract, but with one condition. She had to perform live in front of 20,000 fans. On the night of the concert, the stadium was electric. Fans screamed, waving posters and glowing bracelets, ready to finally hear their idol in person. Emma stepped onto the stage, trembling but confident she could fake her way through. The lights dimmed, the music started, and she opened her mouth. But what came out wasn't the voice fans had fallen in love with. It was weak, off-key, and nothing like the recordings. At first, the crowd was confused. Then, the booing began. "Fraud," someone shouted. "This isn't her," another fan screamed. Emma's face drained of color as panic set in. Cameras flashed. Hashtags began trending online within minutes, exposing the lie. Then, from the side of the stage, another figure appeared. Dressed simply, wearing a mask, Samantha walked slowly into the spotlight. The crowd went silent, unsure of who she was. And then she sang. Her angelic voice filled the stadium, soaring over the booing, washing over the crowd like a wave of light. The audience erupted in cheers. Tears streamed down faces. Phones lit up as everyone recorded the moment. The real artist had arrived. Emma stood frozen, watching her secret unravel in front of the world. As Samantha finished her song, she reached up and slowly removed her mask. The crowd gasped. Her scar was gone. Unknown to Emma, Samantha had undergone a successful surgery months earlier, but she had chosen to keep it hidden. She wanted to test if her friend's loyalty was real. Now, the truth stood exposed. "Ladies and gentlemen," Samantha said, her voice steady though her heart pounded. "Thank you for loving my music. I am the voice you've been listening to all along." The stadium shook with applause. The lie Emma had built crumbled in an instant. Emma, humiliated, tried to speak, but her words drowned in the roar of the crowd. She had everything: money, fame, attention, but in chasing it selfishly, she lost the one thing that mattered most, her best friend. Samantha, meanwhile, stood taller than ever, her scar both literal and symbolic erased not just by surgery, but by truth. She had her voice, her fans, and her future, and she finally understood what her grandmother used to say: asterisk truth can never be hidden for long.